Hello folks, been a while since I've done a extended video because this phone that I've got only loads up um, each video in massive gigabytes or whatever. So if I do like a 1 minute video, it takes 9 hours to load up on YouTube. So that's why I've only been doing short videos. This one I'll do a little bit longer because I'm just going to leave it till it's uploaded, because obviously the importance of the shenanigans out of them at the minute warrants a little bit more in-depth um, investigation. And the investigations that I've been doing have been of the nature to look into the minds from where these things are stemming. So obviously bonds are debt instruments. Debt instruments stem from the Jewish law called the Shetar law, and they're part of that branch of existence, so they're foreign to non-Jewish um, societies and civilizations. So the overarching link is Bolshevism, communism. That's allowed Judaism to bleed into capitalism in the biggest way. In contrast, fascism, National Socialism, those are not, those are from non-Jewish minds, and communism, capitalism are from Jewish minds. Marxist Leninism, Marxism, um, Maoism, Maoist Leninism, sort of like Trotskyism, these extremes of Sovietization, Bolshevism, Menshevism, these ideas of liberalism, they're from the Jewish minds, and fascism, National Socialism, conservatism to a point, philosophy, you know, the ethics of philosophy, Hegelian dialect, Platonic dialect, as opposed to what this video is about, which is the Marxian dialect, the dialectical materialism, and which eventually became written in Stalin's book, Joseph Stalin's book, Dialectical and Historical Materialism, whereby everything, including each thought, is made um, material, and therefore its ownership is then garnered by the state and is under state control, and whoever controls the state then controls the material that exists. So nothing is left to nature. There's the historical materialist side, so the dialectical side being the Marxian side, the all property is theft kind of idea. And the famous quote within Dialectical Materialism of Marx is that in society, and I'm paraphrasing, in society, excuse me, in society, the consciousness of man is governed by, let me just get this correct now, because the inverse is basically the communism, the Bolshevism. That's right. The consciousness, the position of, right, I'll start again. The position of man in society is governed by his consciousness, okay? And in Marxism, the position of man's consciousness is governed by society, by his position in society. So I'm not reading it, that's just the quote. you can read that on the wiki page, Dialectical Materialism, which I reiterate is separate from Dialectical and Historical Materialism, which is the book by Joseph Stalin, which was the official Soviet interpretation of Marxism, or Marxist-Leninism, or Trotskyism, because Trotsky, I believe, quoted as saying that in truth, Trotskyism is in fact pure Marxism or Marxism. So in the book Smersh, Smersh, Stalin's secret weapon, which was the counterintelligence of the spy network, so the spies who were spying on the Soviet spies. In that book, it explains how Menachem Begin, who became leader of Israel, a terrorist from the Stern Gang, the Lehi, the Irgun, the Israeli Herot, something. Anyway, the Jewish terrorist organizations. He was one of the prominent Jews who came to be a leader of Israel. He, in the Shmersh book, was he's mentioned, and it doesn't say in what capacity, and it says that this purging, this 26 million people died by the hands of Smersh. 8 million were sent to the Gulag for the June 26 rule, which was if you were 20 minutes late from work, you go to the Gulag for a month, and then they extended that for up to 3 years. And there was all sorts of employment laws which warranted that you would go to the Gulag. And that was 8 million in that instance. And the Smersh prisons had 6 million like spies who they found out to be working with, the enemy of Bolshevism, so like normal people, normal nice people. Now the Sovietization part is that, the whole of the Eastern Bloc, as it was during the Cold War, was never invaded by the capitalist Western Bloc, or West Bloc, I guess you'd call it. It was never invaded for all of these inhumane atrocities, these really disgusting things that Bolshevism had brought. Meanwhile, there was an actual bloodbath going on behind the Iron Curtain, and the enemy should have been, as we're seeing now, bear in mind that according to the author, who is a Jew, of the Smersh book, the whole of the Russian administration currently, the government, the book was written in 2012, so the whole of Putin's administration is actually KGB, or throughout. Now, he's a Jew, and he's